good people. Uh, we have a lot of diversity in this town. We got a college. We had a good medical center.
It's a small town, but we got lots of good stuff here in the way of businesses. Not only business, a lot of good, just great people, but we don't have to deal with the negativity of a humongous city. So I love Ruston and love Lincoln Parish. It wasn't really a choice we ever made. Not when we got here and we were here, we didn't ever even consider moving because we loved this community and we loved raising our families here.
As Danny said, we didn't have a choice. But as we prospered why would you ever think about moving when the success that we were having was right here in our hometown? So it never was contemplated of, like Danny said, it was never in our mind to move our home office anywhere but here.
But the best advice is just treat people with, have integrity and do what you say. I mean, that's the best advice I can give folks, and be honest.
I think the best advice, I don't know whether it was given to me or I just saw it work, but the advice that I would say that needs to be forwarded is how you treat your fellow man and fellow business people. The construction industry is a very unique industry. It's made up of every kind of craft, every kind of people that you can imagine. One thing that Lincoln Builders always did was treat them like business people. And a lot of the construction industry is not run that way. We elected to run it that way. After Daddy died, we elected to keep it running it that way. And as far as I know, it's still run that way. Well, there's so many of them, I hate even.
I think our biggest risk that we took is we ventured off into some businesses that we weren't actually, we got in, he just mentioned wastewater treatment facility. We're commercial general contractors, and we ventured in an area so that's risky when you do that. That's one of those things I was saying, that you got to be careful when you start down those roads. And we've took some risks, but it ended up working out for us. But we ultimately decided to exit it because we didn't like the risk associated with it, after a period of time. So that's the one that sticks out to me as one that we entered into, and then after going 10 years, we decided we think we'll go back to what we know how to do. What do you have?
Well, it's just so many things that you go back, and one of my most memorable times was when my son Clint, he's now CEO of Lincoln Builders, he was graduating from the School of Construction at ULM, and we had bid and got this small job down at a little hatchery down there. And I went into the office, I said, Daddy, I said, what we gonna do? Who we got to put on that job? We didn't have anybody put on that job at that time. And he said, we're gonna put Clint on it. I said, Daddy, he ain't out of school yet. He said he can build it. And those kind of things that it's your life. And I'll never forget that.
Yeah, and I'm extremely honored to be elected for this award. I mean, it does mean a lot when you invest your life in a community, when you're born in a community, you raise your family in a community, you build your business in this community, and then you get the recognition. having some success. That means a lot.
Well, I just looked at the people that was ahead of me, and all I'll say, I'll just be glad to be in that crowd. That's what makes it. It's not about what I did. It's about the one before me did. So I'm glad to be a part of that group. I'm gonna set this as an end of note before, I got to get my new business in here today, because he said a God thing. Undoubtedly, the good Lord wanted me to tie jigs. Because if you'd have asked me this, would I be tying jigs this time last year? I said, no, you're crazy. I ain't what I want to do that for. But the circumstances that surrounded it, uncle of mine was tying jigs, and I was up there and asking a few questions. I said, well, my wife said I need to tie jigs. And so he took me out there, gave me everything it took to tie a jig, and I went to the house with it, and I said, I guess the good Lord wants me to tie a jig, because I didn't. And actually, I have enjoyed it immensely. But you never know what's going to lead you to what to do next. But if Big Daddy Jigs is the new me, I've done built all the buildings I'm going to build, I tell you.